Dr. Mina Kong stood in her laboratory, looking at numbers that should not exist. The computer screen showed energy readings that broke every rule of physics she had learned in 20 years of studying science. She rubbed her tired eyes and looked. Again, the numbers stayed the same. "This is impossible," she whispered to herself. But impossible things were becoming normal in her lab. 3 months ago, she had been working on a simple project about moving energy from one place to another. Now she was staring at proof that space and time could be bent like rubber. Mina walked to the small machine in the center of her lab. Looked like a metal box with wires and lights, nothing special. But this box had just moved a piece of metal from one side of the room to the other, without traveling through the space between. The metal had simply disappeared from one place and appeared in another. She picked up her phone to call her assistant, but then stopped. Who would believe her? Even she could barely believe what she was seeing. Far above Earth, something watched her through sensors that could see through walls and read the heat from her body. The watchers had been studying human scientists for months, looking for dangerous discoveries. What they saw in Mina's lab made them very afraid. Admiral Do-Yun Park sat in his office at Earth Defense Command, reading reports that made no sense. 12 ships had appeared at the edge of the solar system 3 hours ago. They were not human ships. They were not like anything humans had ever built. "Sir," his assistant knocked on the door. "Captain Lee is here with the sensor data." Captain Junho Lee entered the room carrying a tablet full of readings. He was young for a starship captain, but he was the best pilot in the Earth fleet. "Admiral, these ships are using technology we don't understand," Junho said. "They appeared from nowhere. Our best sensors show they're there, but we can't tell what they're made of or how they work." Do-Yun looked at the data. The ships were big, bigger than Earth's largest warships. They moved in ways that seemed to ignore the laws of physics. "Are they coming toward Earth?" Do-Yun asked. "No, sir. They're just sitting there, watching us, like they're waiting for something." In the deepest part of space, 12 representatives of different alien species met in a room that existed between dimensions. They had been the rulers of the galaxy for thousands of years. Each species was older and more advanced than humans. They had never met a problem they could not solve with. Force. The leader was a tall creature with gray skin and 4 arms. Its voice sounded like metal scraping against stone. "The human female has made the discovery we feared," it said. "Her primitive experiments have unlocked the secrets of space-time manipulation. If her species learns to use this technology, they will become a threat to our control." Another creature, this one covered in scales and with eyes like fire, spoke next. "We have dealt with upstart species before. A few well-placed explosions usually solve the problem. This is different," the leader replied. "The humans are learning too fast. In 50 years, they went from using chemical rockets to building space stations. If we give them more time, they might surpass us." A third alien, one that looked like a cloud of gas in a metal suit, made a sound like wind through broken glass. "Then we eliminate the source, kill the scientist, destroy her research, set humanity back 100 years. The leader nodded. "It's massive head. The Void Hunters will handle this. They have never failed to kill a target." Back on Earth, Mina was running her experiment for the 10th time that day. Each time, the results were the same. She could move objects through space without them traveling the distance between. But more than that, she was starting to understand how it worked. Space and time were not solid things. They were more like water, and with the right tools, you could make waves in them. Big enough waves could carry things across vast distances. In no time at all, she made notes in her computer, trying to write down everything she was learning. If this technology could be perfected, humans could travel to other star systems in days instead of years. They could build ships that moved faster than anything in the galaxy. Her phone rang. It was her father, General Sungmin Kim. Mina, I need you to listen carefully. His voice was serious. Pack your important research and come to the defense base right now. Don't ask questions. Just come. Dad, what's wrong? I can't explain over the phone. Just trust me and come now. Mina looked around her lab. Something was happening, something her father couldn't talk about on a normal phone line. She grabbed her computer and the small device that made her experiments. Work. At Earth Defense Command. Alarms were ringing. Captain Junho Lee ran to his ship as fast as he could. The alien vessels had started moving toward Earth. All ships, prepare for possible attack. Admiral Do Yoon's voice came over the radio. We don't know what they want, but we're not taking chances. Junho climbed into his fighter ship and started the engines. Around him, dozens of other pilots were doing the same thing. The Earth fleet was small compared to what was coming toward them, but they would fight anyway. This is Captain Lee to all fighters, he said into his radio. Stay close to the defense platforms. Don't try to be heroes. We're probably about to meet aliens for the first time, and they don't look friendly. The alien ships were getting closer. Earth sensors showed they were slowing down, but they were still coming. In 30 minutes, they would reach Earth's outer defenses. On the lead alien ship, a creature in black armor checked its weapons. The Void Hunter called Vex-High had killed hundreds of targets across the galaxy. Politicians, scientists, military leaders, it made no difference. Once the Galactic Consortium marked someone for death, Vex-High always delivered. This mission would be simple. Get to the planet's surface, find the human scientist, kill her, and destroy her research. The primitive humans had no weapons that could hurt a Void Hunter. Vex-High looked at a picture of its target. Dr. Mina Kang looked young and weak. This would be easy. The alien ships reached Earth's outer sensor grid and kept coming. On Earth, millions of people looked up at the sky, wondering if humanity was about to meet its neighbors in the galaxy. None of them knew that those neighbors had come to kill the one person who might help humanity reach the stars. The research facility exploded into chaos at 3 a.m. Dr. Mina Kang was in her new lab at the defense base when the alarm started screaming. Red lights flashed everywhere as soldiers ran through the hallways with weapons ready. Commander, Taijin Choi had been asleep in his quarters when the attack began. He pulled on his armor and grabbed his rifle, running toward the research building. His radio crackled with reports from his men. Unknown contacts inside the facility. They appeared from nowhere. Johnson is down. These things just walked through the wall. Weapons aren't working. Bullets are going right through them. Taijin reached the research building and saw something that made his blood run cold. Bodies of security guards lay everywhere, but they had no wounds. They looked like they had simply stopped living. Through the broken windows, he could see shapes moving inside. They were tall and moved like shadows, but they were solid enough to knock over furniture. Whatever these things were, they were not human. All units, fall back and set up a perimeter, Taijin ordered into his radio. Do not engage unless you have a clear shot. Inside the facility, Vex-High moved through the hallways like death itself. The Void Hunter's armor let it walk through walls and bullets alike. Its weapons killed by stopping the electrical signals in a victim's brain. Quick, clean, efficient. But the target was not here. The building was full of human soldiers and scientists. But Dr. Mina Kang was nowhere to be found. Vex-High accessed the facility's computer system with a touch. Human security was pathetically simple to break. Within seconds, it found what it was looking for. Dr. Kang had been moved to a secure lab 3 floors underground. The Void Hunter stepped through the floor, falling through solid matter like it. Was in her underground lab. Mina heard the explosions above. Her father had warned her that something bad was coming, but she had not expected this. The walls shook as something heavy moved around upstairs. "Doctor, we need to evacuate," her assistant Dr. Soman Lee said. "The security team says unknown hostiles are in the building." Mina looked at her equipment. 3 months of work sat on. The tables around her. If she left now, she would lose everything. "Give me 2 minutes," she said. "I need to save the research data." She ran to her computer and started copying files. The sound of fighting was getting closer. Whatever was happening upstairs was moving toward her lab. Soman grabbed Mina's arm. "Doctor, we have to go now." That was when the ceiling exploded. A figure in black armor dropped through the hole where the ceiling used to be. It was tall and thin, with armor that seemed to absorb light. Where its face should be, there was only darkness. Vex-High looked at the 2 human females. One was the target, the other was irrelevant. It raised its weapon, a device that looked like a metal rod. With lights on it, Mina did the only thing she could think of. She slammed her hand down on the emergency switch for her experimental equipment. The room filled with blue light as her space-time manipulation device activated at full power. The machine had never been tested at this level. Mina had no idea. What would happen? What happened was impossible. The room began to phase in and out of normal space. The walls became transparent, then solid, then transparent again. Gravity flickered on and off like a broken light switch. Vex-High fired its weapon, but the energy beam passed right through Mina as she phased out of normal reality. The Void Hunter tried to adjust its armor to match the shifting dimensions, but Mina's machine was creating chaos in spacetime itself. "Soman, get behind the equipment." Mina shouted over the sound of reality tearing apart. The alien assassin tried to step forward, but its foot went through the floor. It tried to grab onto something solid, but everything in the room was shifting. Between dimensions, then the machine overloaded. The explosion of energy sent shock waves through 11 dimensions at once. When the light faded, Vex-High was trapped inside a space-time bubble, frozen between realities. It could see and hear everything around it, but it could not move or escape. Mina stared at the trapped alien in shock. "What the hell is that thing?" Director Hyjin Park arrived with a full security team 20 minutes later. She was Earth's top intelligence officer, and she had seen many strange things in her career. But she had never seen anything like this. The alien stood perfectly still in the middle of the ruined lab, surrounded by crackling energy. Its armor was unlike anything in human technology. Its weapons were made from materials that did not exist on Earth. "Dr. Kang, are you injured?" Hyjin asked. "No, but I think I just captured our first alien," Mina replied. "And I think it was trying to kill me." Hyjin walked around the trapped creature, studying it carefully. "Can it hear us?" "I think so. The energy field affects its movement, but not its senses." Hyjin stepped closer to the alien. "Can you understand me?" Vex-High's helmet turned slightly. Its voice came out like the sound of breaking glass. "You will all die. The consortium will send more. They will not make the same mistakes I did." "The consortium?" Hyjin asked. "What is that?" "The rulers of this galaxy. You humans are a disease that must be removed before you spread to other worlds." Mina felt a chill run through her body. "You're here to kill me because of my research. Your species has learned too much, too quickly. The space-time manipulation technology you have discovered threatens the natural order. We have ruled the galaxy for thousands of years. We will not allow primitive humans to challenge our authority." General Sung-Min Kim entered the lab with Admiral Da-Yoon Park behind him. Both men looked grim. "Director Park, what's the situation with the alien ships?" Hyjin asked. They've pulled back to the edge of the solar system, Do-Yun replied. But they're still there, watching us. I think they're waiting to see if their assassin succeeded. Sung-min looked at his daughter. Mina, how many people know about your research? Just my team. Maybe 20 people total. That's not enough. The alien said. Its voice was filled with cold amusement. The knowledge is already spreading. Your primitive computer networks have been monitored for months. Soon, other humans will recreate your work. The infection will spread across your species. Haijin stepped closer to the trapped creature. How many species are in this consortium? 12 races, each older and more powerful than your pathetic civilization. We have weapons that can destroy planets. We have ships that can cross the galaxy. In days, what do humans have? Chemical rockets and nuclear weapons? Admiral Do-Yun smiled grimly. We have something you didn't expect. We have Dr. Kong. HFY made a sound that might have been laughter. One human scientist against 12 galactic civilizations? You are more foolish than we thought. Mina looked at the alien assassin trapped in her energy field. A terrible thought was forming in her mind. You said you've been watching our computer networks, she said slowly. That means you understand our technology. You know how our machines work. Your technology is primitive. We mastered space-time manipulation when your species was still living in caves. Then you'll understand what I'm about to do to you. Mina walked to her computer and began typing. The alien's energy field started to fluctuate. Double quotes, Doctor. What are you doing? Haijin asked. I'm going to scan every molecule of his body and every piece of his equipment. If the galaxy wants to threaten Earth, then Earth needs to understand exactly what we're dealing with. HFY's voice became urgent for the first time. You cannot. That process will kill me. Mina's fingers paused over the keyboard. She looked at the creature that had come to murder her. You came here to kill me and destroy my life's work, she said quietly. You said your people will send more assassins. You told us that 12 alien civilizations want to wipe out humanity. She resumed typing. Maybe it's time the galaxy learned that humans don't just lie down and die when threatened. The second attack came exactly 72 hours after the first assassin was captured. This time, the aliens did not send a single killer. They sent a fleet. Admiral Do-Yun Park stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching as reality itself began to tear apart around Earth. The alien ships were not just attacking with weapons. They were attacking with technology that changed the laws of physics. Sensor report, he called out. Sir, we're reading massive space-time distortions across the entire system, the sensor operator replied. The alien fleet is using some kind of reality warping technology. Our defensive platforms are starting to phase out of normal space. Through the main view screen, Do-Yun could see Earth's orbital defense stations flickering in and out of existence. The aliens were making them unstable in reality itself. Captain, Junho Lee's voice came over the radio from his fighter squadron. Admiral, we're having trouble targeting the enemy ships. Every time we lock onto them, they shift into a different dimension. The alien fleet was unlike anything humans had ever seen. Ships that looked like they were made of living metal moved through space in impossible ways. Some of them appeared to be inside out. Others seemed to exist in several places at the same time. In her laboratory, Dr. Mina Kong worked frantically with her team. Over the past 3 days, she had learned more about alien technology than humanity had discovered in its entire history. The captured assassin's equipment had revealed secrets that changed everything. Doctor, the quantum field generators are ready, Major Jinwoo Nam reported. He was a military engineer who had been assigned to help weaponize Mina's research. We've built them according to your specifications, but I still don't understand how they work. Think of space and time like water, Mina explained while her hands flew over her computer. The aliens can make waves in that water to move their ships and change reality around them. But if we can make bigger waves ... we can sink their ships, Dr. Soman Lai finished. She had been working without sleep, helping to build devices that should not be possible. Exactly. Jin Woo, are the field generators installed on our ships? Yes, ma'am. Captain Lee's squadron has them, plus the 3 destroyers that Admiral Park assigned to the test program. Outside, the battle was not going well for Earth. The alien ships moved through human weapons fire, like it was not there. Energy beams. That could destroy mountains passed harmlessly through enemy hulls that existed in 11 dimensions at once. But then something changed. Captain Junho Lee activated the quantum field generator on his fighter for the first time. His ship immediately began to phase through different dimensions, just like the alien vessels. "Admiral, this is Lee," he said into his radio. "The new equipment is working. I can see the alien ships clearly now. They're not invisible. They're just hiding in other dimensions. All ships with quantum generators, engage the enemy." Admiral Do-yun ordered. The space battle became something that would have been impossible to describe to anyone who was not there. Ships phased in and out of reality, firing weapons that existed in multiple dimensions at once. Explosions occurred in spaces that human eyes could not see. UNHO led his squadron through what looked like solid alien hull, emerging inside the enemy ship's power core. His weapons, now enhanced with Mina's technology, could damage targets that existed in 11 dimensions. The first alien ship exploded in a flash of light that could be seen from 12 different realities. On the lead enemy vessel, the alien commander called Nexus Prime analyzed the unexpected development. Its cybernetic brain processed millions of calculations per second, but it could not understand what was happening. The humans had been using primitive technology just days ago. Now they had weapons that matched the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. It was impossible. "All units, focus fire on the planet surface," Nexus Prime ordered. "If we cannot defeat their fleet, we will destroy their world." A dozen alien ships turned their reality-warping weapons toward Earth itself. Energy beams that could crack planets began to charge, but Dr. Mina Kang had been preparing for this. "Activate the planetary shield," she told Jin Woo. Around Earth, a network of quantum field generators came online. The same technology that let human ships phase through alien attacks now protected the entire planet. The alien weapons struck a barrier that existed in all dimensions at once. The energy beams, designed to destroy worlds, bounced harmlessly off Earth's new shield. "Impossible," Nexus Prime transmitted to its fleet. "No species has ever developed defensive technology this advanced so quickly." Admiral Do-yun heard the alien transmission through captured communication equipment. He smiled grimly and opened a channel to the enemy fleet. "This is Admiral Park of the Earth Defense Force," he said. "You came here to kill one of our scientists and destroy our research. Instead, you've given us your technology and shown us your weaknesses." On the alien command ship, Nexus Prime processed this information. The humans had reverse-engineered consortium technology in 3 days. They had built weapons and defenses that matched the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. "We offer you one chance to surrender," Do-yun continued. "Leave our system now, and we will not pursue you." Nexus Prime's response was to order all remaining ships to attack at once. The final phase of the battle lasted 6 minutes. Human ships, now equipped with quantum phase technology, moved through alien formations like sharks through fish. Captain Lee's fighters struck at power cores that the aliens thought were protected by existing in other dimensions. Major Jinwoo Nam coordinated the ground-based weapons that could target ships in any reality. Dr. Soman Lai managed the computer systems that let human technology work in 11 dimensions at once. When the shooting stopped, the alien fleet was debris floating in Earth's orbit. In her laboratory, Dr. Mina Kong received a communication from the captured assassin. The creature had been watching the battle through the facility's sensors. "You have won this engagement," HFY said, "but you do not understand what you have done. The consortium has existed for millions of years. We have destroyed thousands of species that threatened our rule. What makes you think humans will be different?" Mina looked at the alien through the energy field that held it prisoner. "Because we learn from our enemies. Every time you attack us, we become stronger. The consortium has 12 member species. You have defeated ships from only 2 of them. The others will come with weapons you cannot imagine." "Let them come," Mina replied. "We'll be ready." She turned to her computer and began working on new designs. The alien technology captured in this battle would take months to fully understand, but she already had ideas for improvements. Admiral Do-Yoon Park entered the laboratory with General Sungmin Kim. Both men looked tired but satisfied. "Doctor, the fleet is secured," Do-Yoon reported. "We've captured intact technology from 6 different alien ships. Our engineers are already studying it." "Good. How long before the next attack?" "Unknown. But intelligence thinks we have at least a few weeks." Mina nodded without looking up from her work. "That should be enough time." "Enough time for what?" her father asked. She finally turned away from her computer, and both men were surprised by the cold determination in her eyes. "Enough. Time to build a fleet that can reach their worlds," she said quietly. "They want to play the assassination game? Fine, but we're going to play it better than they do." General Kim stared at his daughter. "Mina, you're talking about attacking alien civilizations." "I'm talking about survival, Dad. They made it clear that they won't stop until humanity is extinct. So we need to make sure they stop permanently." The captured alien made a sound that might have been fear. "You cannot mean to attack the consortium directly. No species has ever." "No species has ever had Earth's advantages," Mina interrupted. "We learn fast. We adapt quickly. And apparently, we're really good at reverse engineering your technology." She looked at the alien ships being towed into Earth's shipyards. "By the time we're done studying these vessels, we'll know everything about your civilizations. Your weapons, your defenses, your weaknesses. The consortium will crush you," HFY said, but there was uncertainty in his voice now. "Maybe," Mina agreed, "but we're going to make them work for it. And every time they try to kill us, we'll become harder to kill." She turned back to her computer, already designing weapons that would strike fear into the hearts of galactic empires. 6 weeks after the second alien attack, Earth launched its first strike against the galaxy. Dr. Mina Kong stood in the command center of humanity's newest warship, watching as her creations prepared for battle. The ship was called Bizan's Vengeance, and it was unlike anything that had ever existed. Built using technology stolen from 2 alien civilizations, the vessel could exist in 17 dimensions at once. Its weapons could destroy targets that were hiding in other realities. Its shields could protect against attacks from the past and future. "All systems ready, Doctor," Captain Jinho Lee reported from the pilot's seat. He had volunteered to command the first human ship designed for interdimensional warfare. "Target confirmed," Dr. Somin Lee announced from her station. "Kelthera Prime, homeworld of the Void Hunters. Distance, 47 light years. Time to target with quantum space drive, 14 minutes. Mina nodded. They had spent weeks planning this mission. The Void Hunters were the galaxy's most feared assassins. If humanity could strike at their homeworld, it would send a message that no alien civilization could ignore. "Activate the quantum space drive," she ordered. Reality twisted around the ship as it entered hyperspace. But this was not the same hyperspace that other species used. This was a dimension that existed between all other dimensions, a place where distance had no meaning. The ship emerged above, Kelthera Prime, in a flash of blue light. The planet below looked like a giant fortress. Dark cities covered its surface, connected by bridges that stretched across vast canyons. This was where the galaxy's most dangerous killers were trained. Sensors show massive defensive installations, Soman reported. Energy shields that could stop planet-killing weapons. Orbital platforms with reality-warping cannons. And probably a few million very angry aliens, Junho added. On the planet's surface, alarms began to ring. The Kelthera had sensors that could detect ships arriving from other dimensions, but they had never seen anything like this human vessel. Warlord Kethaver stood in the planetary command center, staring at sensor readings that made no sense. The human ship was somehow existing in 17 different realities at the same time. Its energy signature was stronger than most battle fleets. Impossible, Kethaver growled. Humans are primitive. They should not have ships like this. Sir, the vessel is broadcasting a message, his communications officer reported. Put it on screen. Dr. Mina Kong's image appeared on the main display. She stood calmly on her ship's bridge, surrounded by technology that the Kelthera recognized as superior to their own. I am Dr. Mina Kong of Earth, she said. 6 weeks ago, you sent an assassin to kill me. Today, I'm returning the favor. Kethaver activated his own transmission system. Human, you are one ship against an entire world. Our defenses can destroy anything in the galaxy. Your defenses were designed to stop ships that exist in normal space, Mina replied. My ship exists in 17 dimensions. Your weapons can't hit what they can't properly target. To prove her point, she ordered Junho to fly the ship through the planet's orbital defense grid. The Kelthera defensive platforms fired everything they had. Energy beams that could vaporize mountains passed harmlessly through the human ship as it phased between realities. Gravity weapons that could crush planets had no effect on a target that existed in multiple dimensions. Bisons. Vengeance flew through the defensive fire without taking a single hit. All orbital platforms, target the human ship, Kethaver ordered. Sir, our weapons cannot lock onto the target, came the reply. The ship is shifting between dimensions too quickly for our targeting systems to track. On Earth, Admiral Do-Yoon Park watched the battle through a quantum communication link. The image showed the human ship moving through alien defensive fire like it was not there. Dr. Kong, you have permission to begin the demonstration. He transmitted. Mina smiled coldly. Beginning orbital bombardment. Bison's vengeance unleashed weapons that existed in all 17 dimensions at once. The energy beams struck Kelthera military installations that were supposed to be protected by reality shields. Entire fortress complexes simply vanished as their atoms were scattered across multiple dimensions, in 30 seconds. The planet's orbital defenses were destroyed. Commander Taijin Choi led the marine assault from the ship's hangar bay. His soldiers wore armor that could phase through solid matter, making them nearly impossible to stop. They appeared inside Kelthera military bases like ghosts, striking at targets that thought they were safe behind impenetrable walls. The Void Hunters were the galaxy's most feared warriors, but they had never fought an enemy that could walk through walls and disappear when attacked. Human soldiers appeared from nowhere, completed their missions, and vanished before the aliens could respond. Within 2 hours, every major military installation on Kelthera Prime was either destroyed or captured. Kethaver found himself trapped in his own command bunker as human soldiers phased through the walls around him. Commander Taijin appeared in the center of the room like a ghost materializing from air. Surrender, Taijin said simply, his weapon pointed at the alien warlord. Never, Kethaver replied, reaching for his own gun. Taijin shot him with a weapon. That disrupted the electrical signals in his brain. The alien collapsed, unconscious but alive. Command, this is Taijin. Primary target is secured. Back on the ship, Dr. Mina Khan opened a communication channel to the entire planet. People of Kelthara Prime, her voice echoed across the world, your military is defeated. Your leaders are captured. But I'm not here to conquer your world. I'm here to deliver a message. She paused, letting her words sink in. Your galactic consortium sent killers to murder one human scientist. You thought we were weak. You thought we would be easy to destroy. You were wrong. On the planet below, millions of Kelthara listened in stunned silence. This attack is Earth's response to your assassination attempt. But it's also a demonstration. We have your technology now. We understand your weapons, your defenses, your tactics, and we've improved on all of them. Major Jin Woo Nam's voice came through the communication system. Doctor, we've finished downloading their military databases. We now have complete information on consortium fleet movements, weapons technology, and planetary defenses. Excellent. Mina replied, still broadcasting to the planet. In case anyone is wondering, we just stole all of your military secrets. Every ship design, every weapon blueprint, every defensive strategy the consortium has developed over thousands of years. She looked directly into the camera. But that's not the real message I'm here to deliver. The transmission switched to show images from across the galaxy. Human ships were appearing above other consortium worlds, all at the same time. Earth had not sent one ship to attack one planet. They had sent a fleet to attack 12 worlds simultaneously. While you are watching this demonstration, Earth's new fleet has been visiting each member world of the consortium. We're not just striking at the Void Hunters. We're striking at everyone who voted to eliminate humanity. On 12 different worlds, human ships were destroying orbital defenses and capturing military installations. The coordinated attack was happening across the entire galaxy at once. The message is simple, Mina continued. Earth will not be intimidated. Every time you attack us, we will respond with overwhelming force. Every time you send killers to murder our people, we will send killers to your worlds. She gestured to the tactical display showing the galaxy-wide assault. You thought you were dealing with a primitive species that would be easy to eliminate. Instead, you gave us your technology and taught us your weaknesses. You turned a peaceful scientific researcher into a military strategist. You forced a species that wanted to explore the stars into a civilization that can conquer them. The transmission ended with a final warning. The next time the consortium decides to threaten Earth, remember this day. Remember that we could have simply destroyed your worlds and eliminated your species. Instead, we chose to be merciful. We chose to give you a chance to learn. Bison's vengeance began its journey back to Earth, leaving behind a planet that would never be the same. The Void Hunters, the galaxy's most feared assassins, had been defeated by humans in their own homeland. But more importantly, the entire galaxy now knew that Earth was no longer a target. It was a threat. Dr. Mina Khan sat in her command chair, already planning the next phase of humanity's expansion. The aliens had tried to kill her to prevent humans from reaching the stars. Instead, they had given humanity the tools to rule them. The galaxy's final answer came in the form of 3 ancient horrors that had been sleeping at the edge of known space for millions of years. Dr. Mina Kang stood in her laboratory aboard Earth's newest space station, watching sensor readings that showed the impossible. 3 massive objects were moving toward the solar system, each one larger than Earth's moon. Doctor, these readings can't be correct, Dr. Suman Lei said, staring at her computer screen. These objects are consuming the energy of stars. They're literally eating sunlight. Admiral Do-Yoon Park's voice came through the communication system from his flagship. All civilian ships are being evacuated from the outer system. Whatever those things are, they're not like anything we've faced before. The objects were called Star Devourers, and they were the consortium's ultimate weapons. Ancient machines built by a civilization that had died before most current species had learned to use fire. For millions of years, they had slept in the deep void between galaxies. Now, the desperate remnants of the galactic consortium had awakened them and pointed them at Earth. Captain Junho Lee flew his scout ship as close to the approaching objects as he dared. What he saw through his sensors made him question his sanity. "Admiral, these aren't ships," he reported. They're like living machines. They have tentacles made of metal that reach out for hundreds of kilometers. And they're consuming everything in their path." "What do you mean, consuming?" Do Yun asked. "I mean they're eating asteroids, space debris, anything with matter. They're breaking it down into energy and growing larger. On the lead Star Devourer, ancient systems that had been built before Earth's sun was born analyzed the threat ahead. The machines had been created to consume entire star systems, turning matter into energy to fuel their endless hunger. But these particular targets were strange. The energy signatures showed technology that should not exist. Ships that existed. In multiple dimensions, weapons that could strike targets in the past and future. The Star Devourers did not care. They had destroyed civilizations that mastered time travel. They had consumed species that could reshape reality itself. Nothing in the galaxy had ever been able to stop them. In her laboratory, Mina worked frantically with her team. Over the past months, she had reverse-engineered technology from 12 different alien civilizations. Now she needed to combine it all into something that could fight machines older than most stars. "The quantum resonance patterns are ready," Major Jinwoo Nam reported. "But doctor, I still don't understand how this is supposed to work." "The Star Devourers exist in normal space-time," Mina explained while her hands flew over her computer. "They're incredibly advanced, but they're still bound by the same physical laws as everything else. That's their weakness." "I don't understand." "They can consume matter and energy, but they can't consume something that exists outside of normal reality. If we can shift our entire fleet into a dimension that they can't reach. Double quotes, Dr. Soman Lee looked up from her calculations. "Doctor, the energy requirements would be enormous. We'd need to channel the power output of Earth's sun just to shift a few ships. Then we'll use their own power against them." Mina replied with a cold smile. "Admiral, Do-yoon received his orders an hour before the Star Devourers reached Earth's outer defenses. The plan was insane, impossible, and completely against every rule of military strategy he had ever learned. He was going to do it anyway. "All ships, prepare for dimensional phase," he ordered. "We're going to let those things get close enough to touch us." Captain Junho Lee led the first wave of Earth's fleet, directly toward the approaching horrors. As his ships got closer, he could see details that made his skin crawl. The Star Devourers were covered in weapons that looked like they had grown rather than been built. Metal tentacles writhed through space, reaching out to grab anything they could consume. Eyes the size of cities tracked the approaching human ships. "All ships hold position," Junho ordered his squadron. "Let them come to us." The Star Devourers moved forward eagerly. These small ships would provide energy for their continued journey toward the planet. Beyond, metal tentacles reached out to crush the human vessels. That was when Dr. Mina Kong activated her trap. Every ship in the Earth fleet suddenly shifted into 17 different dimensions at once. But instead of hiding in other realities, they were channeling energy between them. The Star Devourer's own power was being redirected through dimensional space and back into normal reality. The ancient machines found themselves fighting their own strength, multiplied by 17. The first Star Devourer tried to withdraw its tentacles, but it was too late. The dimensional feedback was tearing it apart from the inside. Systems that had functioned for millions of years overloaded and exploded. The second and third Star Devourers tried to retreat, but Mina had prepared for that. Commander Taijin Choi led boarding parties that phased directly into the hearts of the ancient machines. His Marines wore armor that let them exist in multiple dimensions, making them immune to the Star Devourers' defensive systems. "This is incredible," Taijin reported as his team moved through corridors that had been built before Earth existed. "The technology here is millions of years old, but it's still functional." "Can you reach the control centers?" Mina asked. "Already there? These machines have central processing cores the size of skyscrapers. Destroy them." The Star Devourers died as human explosives tore apart computer systems that had once controlled the fate of galaxies. Ancient machines that had consumed countless civilizations fell silent. Their endless hunger finally ended. When the battle was over, Earth's fleet found itself surrounded by the wreckage of weapons that had been the galaxy's ultimate threat for millions of years. But Dr. Mina Kong was not finished. She activated a communication system that could broadcast across the entire galaxy, reaching every civilized world simultaneously. "This is Dr. Mina Kong of Earth." Her voice echoed across 1,000 star systems. "3 months ago, your galactic consortium sent assassins to kill me because my research threatened your control of this galaxy." The image showed the destroyed Star Devourers floating in space around Earth. "You escalated the conflict at every stage. First one assassin, then a fleet, then your ultimate weapons. Each time, you forced us to become stronger. Each time you gave us new technology to study and improve." She gestured to the wreckage around her ship. "These were the Star Devourers, the most powerful weapons your civilization ever created. We destroyed them in 47 minutes. Across the galaxy, the surviving members of the consortium watched in stunned silence. You wanted to eliminate one human scientist because you were afraid of what we might become. Instead, you turned us into exactly what you feared. You gave us your technology. You taught us your weaknesses. You forced us to develop weapons that can destroy anything you can build." The transmission switched to show images of human ships appearing above consortium worlds across the galaxy. Earth's message is simple and final. Your consortium is dissolved. Your fleets are disbanded. Your worlds are now under human protection. She paused, letting the words sink in. "You taught us that the galaxy is a dangerous place with a strong prey on the weak. Thank you for the lesson. We learned it very well." The transmission ended with Earth's new flag being planted on 12 alien worlds simultaneously. 6 months later, Dr. Mina Kong stood in her new laboratory aboard humanity's first interdimensional research station. Through the windows, she could see ships from 100 different worlds, bringing tribute to Earth. The galaxy had learned that humanity did not just survive extinction attempts. They evolved from them. Admiral Do-Yoon Park entered the laboratory with a report from the Frontier Fleets. "Doctor, our exploration ships have made contact with 3 new civilizations beyond the old consortium borders. They're all requesting alliance treaties." "Any signs of hostility?" Mina asked. "None. Word has spread about what happened to the consortium. These new species seem very eager to be friends with humanity." Mina nodded and returned to her work. She was designing new technologies that would let human ships travel between galaxies. The universe was vast, and there might be other threats out there, but she was no longer worried about alien assassins. The galaxy had sent killers to eliminate one human scientist. Instead, they had created a species that could eliminate galaxies. Some lessons the universe learned the hard way, and humanity was an excellent teacher.